Hello and welcome. In this presentation, I'll be talking about the role of operations in supply chain management. Now, when we view supply chain in terms of series of processes, there are three focal areas. One is sourcing, second is operations, and third is logistics. So our focus here would be understanding what exactly operations refer to within this broad area of supply chain management. Now, what is operations management? Operations management is the systematic design, direction, and control of processes that transform inputs into services and products for internal as well as external customers. So essentially, the focus here is on designing, directing, and controlling the processes. So for designing, for example, we will need to think about facility layout decisions, which will fall under operations management. Likewise, for controlling, as an example, we will have to think about statistical process control or quality management, which again is something which we do as part of operations management. Now, what exactly operations does within an organization? It needs to be viewed in terms of its integration with other functional areas of a business. So in broad terms, operations is responsible for translating materials and services into outputs, but we saw in the definition that there's a focus on designing, controlling, and things of that nature. So we want to understand how operations relate with other functions within a company and executes that promise. So if we view it from an organizational perspective, you would have finance, which will acquire the financial resources and capital for inputs. So you need some money to buy the inputs that then gets transformed into outputs. So with that finance, you then get the materials and service inputs. Once the material and service inputs are obtained, then operations is responsible for translating those materials and services into outputs, and we produce either tangible goods or intangible services. Those outputs are then marketed to generate revenue, to generate outputs. And that sales revenue will then become the required financial resource, which again is invested back in business. So it's basically a virtuous cycle, which starts with finance and essentially creates value in the form of products or services, and then generates sales revenue, which adds to the previous stock of finance that you had. And to be able to execute this virtuous cycle, you are relying on support functions like accounting, information systems, human resources, and engineering. So in a sense, operations is the core set of activities that you would have that translates inputs to outputs. And the focus would be in designing, in managing, in controlling these sets of processes for the transformation. Thank you.